Hey YouTube, what's going on? We're going to watch some 3v3 RLCS today. And I know what you're thinking, but Feer, you're mostly a 1v1 channel as Jack absolutely destroys Cookser's minions here. This is a game of Dignitas playing though, so you'll notice Dignitas, the 1v1 masters. Scrub Killa. What I would say Joreuz, but I'm realizing is Joreuz? Joreuz? If you watch Jack videos, who obviously would know what Joreuz's name is, that's how he says it. And I have to assume he's saying it right and I'm saying it wrong. So I'll have to try and work on that. Make sure I figure out exactly the right way to say it. But him and Scrub Killa as well is the Dignitas roster, if you didn't already know. This series is the series that Dignitas played in order to secure their spot into the major in Sweden in a couple weeks. So I won't tell you how it goes necessarily in terms of who wins what games, but do know that Dignitas do eventually qualify, and that is why we're taking a look at this matchup. This was the first matchup in the Swiss bracket for day one. So Dignitas, who was leading the EU scene in terms of points after winning the last regional, did not need a lot more to secure their spot and make sure that, you know, even if they lose out, they'll still be in the top 5. So they just needed to win this one game in the beginning of the Swiss, and they do so as Jack taps in the double. On the other side of the field is Cookser back in the RLCS scene. I mean, he never really left, but I don't think his team had made a main event of any of the regionals up until this moment. So Cookser, RXI, I'm not sure how to say that player's name. I don't think it's just spelling out the letters. But they're also playing with Kenzo, which is a bit of an interesting storyline as Dignitas tap in a second, because Growly, who could not play due to COVID, was not playing in this series. But actually, EU RLCS is happening right now. These replays went up really fast after the game ended. So I don't even know what happens for Cookser's minions after that. I do know Growly comes back. You know, Growl at least started the next series back playing. So we'll see how the day ends up for them. But we're going to watch each one of these games from a different perspective of the players. To be honest, I don't know if I've watched any Dignitas 3s yet. I'm very interested in, you know, how they play as a dynamic. You hear, you know, a lot about different team styles and the roles that various players play. And to be honest, I don't know if I've heard, you know, what to expect from the Dignitas guys. Seems like a fairly well-rounded roster. And definitely a roster that I'm rooting for in the EU. If there's a team that I have to pick from EU, that was a nasty read by Joreuz. Holy cow. A super early, like, pre-jump to the ceiling. Ended up perfectly reading where that clear was going to. But one thing I've noticed, maybe about the Dignitas style, maybe about Jack specifically, we'll have to see when we watch the next couple replays from the other perspectives. Joreuz, nice tap. I'm going to be saying it wrong. I think it's Joreuz is like closer than what I say. But a tap, crossbar down. Jack has been very aggressive. We saw at the beginning of that game the double demo on 2 Cook's teammates, and then now has been searching for demos a lot after all these plays. I think it's a meta that, you know, kind of changed in general in the past seasons or so. We know my other team that I like to watch, G2, Rizzo, used to be quite the bruiser, doing the same kind of thing, and I think it's long since been adapted. But we'll see if his teammates equally as, you know, eager to take other players off the field. Jack cutting this ball early. Scrub, a nice double to Jack, man. 4-1 for Dignitas. But that was a nice play from Jack, staying aggressive, faith in his teammate to, you know, take a good shot, have it clear to the corner. And Scrub not afraid to play really aggressive, because, you know, we saw Joreuz up in the air And Jack deep in the corner. Scrub was that last back and dove all the way in to get that touch. It's just good recognition of when you really aren't taking a risk like it may seem, though. There is a wide open net, and that's a good example of a time that maybe Scrub, who was last back, I'm not sure who was last back there. It could have been Joreuz who was taking that touch. Did risk it just a little bit too much and giving Cucks a wide open second goal. 20 seconds left to go. Dignitas up 2, though. Could have been up 3. Seemed to relax maybe a little bit. Jack is going to early jump this. The nice thing about the Dignitas team, too, is they're all wearing their decals. I love it, man. And, you know, people talked a lot about, is it hard to tell which player's who because they're all in the same decal? I don't know if that's really an issue. But we'll see, I guess, as we go on. So, game number 2, and you might be thinking to yourself, Feer, where did the first minute and 20 seconds of this game go? So I remembered, because I was watching this live before I got the replays. They had some server issues. Cookster's Minions had scored first in this game, and they ended up, you know, having to remake the lobby, I'm pretty sure, get some better servers. So the replays got saved where this was the replay that finished out this game number 2 for them, even though there are some more replays of the short first minute, 20 seconds. I decided not to splice them in. We're just going to watch the 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the replay that hit 0. They hit 0 on the clock. But that's why there's already 1 goal for Cookster's Minions. They did score on the bad server. This time, we're going to be watching Killa. We're going to watch Killa for this shortened game. Also playing in the Dignitas Octane. But, as you can see, he's got different wheels. Jack was using the OEM wheels. These are the black Daichi wheels or whatever. Nice dribble by Jack. And so it's obvious. But also the names on people's nameplates. I don't know. I don't think it's that much of an issue. But the RLCS overlay is kind of tough, to be honest. They changed the overlay so that it's like right on the bottom level, super low on the screen. So you might have to do a lot of checking if every single player looked like the same car on the screen. But I'm still in favor for it. I think the Dignitas decal is sweet. Jack and Joreuz, nice save. I mean, they both double committed super hard, but ultimately it went well for the team. It seems like I should have maybe premeditated a little bit more who to pick in terms of who played interesting in each game, because we watched Jack last game. It didn't seem like he was ultra involved. And now we're watching Killa, and it seems like Jack and Joreuz are doing everything. High pinch. Not the best of reads by Scrub. He seemed to prioritize getting up quickly over, you know, getting to the ball, and had to use all his boost just to bring himself back to the play. Luckily for him, no Cookster's Minions in sight. Scrub is trying to catch a demo on his retreat back to his side. But an air roll booming clear. Joreuz another 51 out to his teammates. We've seen that a few times in succession here. Jack must have been up for that attempt because he's nowhere back to help on defense, but doesn't matter. Oh, that big miss. Maybe it does matter. Kenzo able to score after the whiff from Jack, who, had he not been aggressive going for that shot attempt, likely he doesn't have as late of a recovery. Might have an easier time clearing that one away. So the sub for Growly getting the second goal for Cookster's Minions. Joreuz, the takeaway. Jack, shot on net. I mean, nobody was challenging on that side wall at all. Joreuz got to get away with such a long setup. I don't know why Cookster's Minions weren't there to break up the play, but he got to play basically by himself in free play to set up that pass, which is going to make it so tough to play ensuing after that setup. That's a great read off the back wall by, was that RXI? I'll be honest, I need to figure out how to say that player's, or pronounce that player's name. But a nasty setup. Scrub Killa's going to shoot on a wide open net, though. The last back coming to challenge early, and Scrub just having to slightly redirect it out of the way with an air roll shot on the bounce dribble. I think that was a little bit of over aggression on defense, but they get it right back. I do not know how that ball stayed high enough to not hit the ground. But the 0-second goal in overtime. Oh my goodness. I should have remembered this. I did watch these games before. I should have remembered that Joreuz had the insane goal to end this. We're going to go watch it from his perspective. The quick overtime. I remember looking away when it went to overtime, and then the casters talking about the shot. So a kickoff lost back into the corner. Oh, that's nasty. Holy, that's nasty. That's such a great adjustment late. Like the way he sets this up to have the front flip tap it back behind is truly nutty. Oh, like if he doesn't get the air roll perfect, it doesn't redirect it away from the defender. Okay, that was nasty. That was nasty. But that was for game number 2. So we will head to game 3. We're watching the Fennec for game number 3. Joreuz is what I used to say, but something more like Joreuz, I think. We'll get there. We'll get there. But of course, because we started watching Joreuz, the first goal comes from Scrub Killa and apparently Jack teaming with each other. I perfectly selected the player who got to watch all the things happen. That being said, Joreuz is going to get up for this 50, even though Scrub Killa was trying to continue it. I wonder if they called Scrub Killa off, because I don't think it was a bad idea to go for that challenge. It was a good opportunity for Dignitas, but they could have afforded to have Scrub Killa pull off that ball faster and prep for a recovery, considering it was going to be a double commit if they kept going with it. Scrub being the pest out at midfield, trying to force them to get an outplay over one. Cookser did, but Joreuz a nice 50, and can't get 2 50s in a row though. Now Scrub Killa having to play some backline defense. He's going to clear it directly out to the center of the field. He had 2 teammates on either side of him that he could have aimed for, but must not have had the ability to get out and tap it to him. A long, booming clear to buy Dignitas some space, something they haven't had in the past few seconds, but now they've got it on the offensive half. Scrub Killa taking out defenders, and Kuxer's minions are slow to respond. That would have been an absolutely nasty angle by Jack had he found it. The demo's coming out big time, mostly on those defensive rotations, trying to find Kuxer minions players. Kenzo, dribble flip reset. Nothing going to come of it as Jack booms it downfield. Seems like Dignitas in general doing a better job of holding on to possession. This is a really tough situation, but an even tougher angle for Joreuz, but it doesn't matter. Scrub Killa is going to finish it off. Just a double commit on defense from Kuxer's minions by Kuxer and one of the minions. And just could not get back for both shot attempts. Joreuz could have scored on his, but it's going to be an extremely tough angle. Scrub back alone, able to save one, slow them down long enough to get Jack back into play. Half the game left to go. Joreuz to Scrub. Got it to him just a little bit late by the time Kuxer and squad could break up the play. Joreuz, as he clears back, noticing him and Jack in the same spot, intentionally taking a much wider angle. separating themselves on the field. That was a bit of an open sequence for Kuxer's minions, but Joreuz handled great all by himself. Another pop of his own just to keep them out of gaining possession, and then a carry down to the other side of the field. He single-handedly took his team out of what was a really tough spot and into offense. Joreuz over one, another double tap, and oh no, I don't know if Killa missed on purpose or if that helped them, but it seemed like Killa was going to have a shot opportunity. It doesn't matter, it bounces high, and Jack will be the one to finish it off. So 3-0 lead. By the way, this is a best of 5, so a 3-0 lead for Dignitas and squad in this best of 5 against Kuxer minions. Up 3-0 in game 3. Trying to finish out their ticket to Sweden in a full sweep. Jack can find Joreuz just camping out in front of the net. One of the easiest goals they've gotten in a while. Jack, oh, that would have been nasty. Kuxer up for the save. Scrub trying to keep the pressure on, and now every single Dignitas member on the retreat at around the same part of the field, but it doesn't matter. They've just handled the pressure so well. Even when they give up possession momentarily, haven't seen too many solid shot attempts. A great pass off the corner from Jack. But Kuxer's minions are there. Doesn't matter. They don't need to be scoring. They just need to be holding off, and they're doing so by keeping them in the back 10th of their half. But not a great touch by Killa on the retreat. Likely didn't have ball cam on, didn't realize he was affecting the play. But without that touch, Joreuz likely able to keep them on offense in the other half of the field. Oh no, a mistake from Kuxer's minions. They just tap it and basically pass it to Dignitas down to the other side of the field. 15 seconds left to go. It doesn't really matter too much, so they're probably not that bummed, because this is how Dignitas stamped their ticket to Sweden. They're the first EU team to earn their ticket there. By the time I'm done recording this, there's a chance that there's other EU teams that have earned it. I'm not sure how the all the situations work out, but there's a lot of tie-breaking and a lot of options for the EU scene during the 3rd regional. Anyways, Dignitas, GG's. The 1v1 mains prove they can do it in 3v3 as well.